Breaking news tonight: how does a teenager possess the vocal soul of a jazz legend from an entirely different era? Good evening, I'm your lead investigative reporter diving into the extraordinary and often concealed world of Jordan. We are looking at a vocal phenomenon that has completely disrupted the modern music landscape. When she first appeared, critics and audiences alike were left entirely astounded. She didn't just sing, she channeled a rich vintage sound that seemed impossible for someone of her youth. Tonight, our investigation uncovers the reality behind this massive disruption. The entertainment sector is notoriously rigid, typically favoring easily marketable, highly manufactured pop artists over genuine, raw vocalists, represents a direct challenge to that deeply entrenched system. We're peeling back the layers of her sudden rise to global prominence, examining not just the standing ovations, but the intense, often unseen friction between a young prodigy's authentic artistic vision and a corporate machine desperate to mold her into a standard commercial product. The truth behind her journey reveals a high-stakes battle for creative survival. The spotlight on a child star is incredibly glaring, but what truly happens when the television cameras finally stop rolling? Our special report continues by examining the heavy burden placed upon when she first went viral at just 7 years old on international television. While the public saw a mesmerizing performance of classic jazz, industry insiders noted the crushing pressure instantly placed upon her small shoulders. Thrust into a global arena, she became the subject of intense media scrutiny. Commentators heavily debated whether a child could genuinely comprehend the sorrowful depths of the jazz standards she performed so flawlessly. Reports surfaced regarding the immense stress her inner circle faced while navigating the sudden overwhelming wave of attention. The transition from a normal childhood to an international touring schedule is a precarious path, historically littered with cautionary tales. Our sources indicate that the push to capitalize on her viral momentum was relentless. Maintaining a sense of normalcy became a daily struggle against the overwhelming demands of sudden fame, an environment where young talent is often viewed primarily as a commodity. A carefully crafted signature look or a deeply personal silent protest, we uncover the emotional truth behind her Barefoot performances. To many casual viewers tuning into her broadcasts, this decision to perform without shoes appeared to be a strategic branding choice designed to differentiate her from other competitors. However, our journalistic deep dive reveals a profoundly different origin story. During her travels at the tender age of 6, she encountered a young, impoverished girl who lacked basic footwear. Deeply moved by this stark reality, surrendered her own shoes. From that pivotal moment forward, she made a solemn, unwavering pledge to perform barefoot until all children around the globe had adequate footwear. This is not a Hollywood gimmick. It is a steadfast humanitarian statement. In an industry heavily reliant on glamorous wardrobes and superficial appearances, this act of vulnerability stands as a stark contrast. It represents a silent, ongoing rebellion against the inherent materialism of the entertainment world, highlighting a rare sense of grounded morality that consistently clashes with the typical vanity expected of rising mainstream stars. Exclusive reports indicate a massive behind-the-scenes struggle to force a jazz prodigy into a standard pop music mold. As transitioned from a viral television sensation into a prospective recording artist, the stakes grew exponentially higher. Record label executives immediately recognized her vast commercial viability, but were reportedly hesitant to back a pure jazz artist in a market dominated by electronic beats. Anonymous industry sources have detailed numerous intense boardroom discussions where immense pressure was applied to modernize her sound. The objective was clear: transform her unique vintage stylings into easily digestible, radio-friendly pop anthems. This presented a monumental crossroads for the young artist: succumb to the lucrative yet creatively stifling demands of top-tier executives, or risk being marginalized as a niche act. The tension between preserving her authentic musical identity and satisfying corporate revenue projections created a volatile environment. We are seeing firsthand the classic industry tug-of-war, where the relentless pursuit of mainstream chart success constantly threatens to erode the very essence of what made the artist special initially. Did reality television manufacture a triumphant return, or did genuine artistry simply prevail against the incredible odds? Our investigation turns to her highly publicized reappearance on a major global talent competition. Her rendition of a legendary rock anthem, infused with her signature jazz styling, captivated audiences worldwide and secured a rare, coveted golden buzzer. However, investigative journalism requires us to look beyond the glittering stage lights. Reality television is fundamentally a heavily produced environment, designed primarily to maximize viewer ratings and emotional engagement. Speculation has consistently swirled regarding the extent to which producers influence song selections and orchestrate dramatic narrative arcs. Was this monumental performance a purely organic expression of artistic evolution, or was it a meticulously coordinated television event designed to generate viral social media traffic? The intersection of authentic musical talent and calculated reality TV formatting remains a highly contested space, raising significant questions about how modern audiences consume and interpret these supposedly unscripted, spontaneous moments of artistic brilliance. A lucrative major label contract often sounds like the ultimate dream, but could it secretly be a developing artist's worst nightmare? We are closely analyzing the aftermath of securing a high-profile contract with a dominant music corporation. While initially celebrated as a massive milestone, this development quickly generated a significant wave of anxiety among her dedicated global. This specific label is renowned for producing some of the world's most aggressively marketed mainstream pop stars. Industry analysts and fans alike immediately voiced concerns regarding the potential compromise of her creative autonomy. Would her deeply resonant, vintage acoustic style be systematically dismantled and replaced with heavy digital processing and synthetic instrumentation? The fear of losing her unique essence to the corporate machinery was palpable. This phase of her career represents the ultimate gamble. She stepped directly into the epicenter of the commercial music factory, facing the immense challenge of maintaining her artistic integrity while navigating the complex, often uncompromising demands of a multi-billion-dollar global entertainment conglomerate. The ultimate Trojan horse strategy: how to successfully infiltrate the modern mainstream charts using purely vintage musical tactics. Recent developments in her career trajectory suggest a highly sophisticated, subversive approach to releasing new music. Rather than completely capitulating to the standard pop formula, our musical analysts have observed her discreetly embedding complex jazz chord progressions and classic vocal phrasing within contemporary, rhythmically driven tracks. She's essentially smuggling the foundational elements of mid-century jazz directly into modern radio playlists. This represents a brilliant tactical maneuver against industry expectations. By disguising her traditional influences under the veneer of modern production techniques, she is circumventing the systemic bias against older genres. She is actively cultivating a new demographic of listeners, subtly exposing them to sophisticated musical structures they might otherwise ignore. This stealthy integration allows her to satisfy the commercial requirements of her label while simultaneously preserving the core integrity of her musical roots, executing a masterful balancing act on the global stage. Surviving the relentless modern media machine requires far more than just exceptional talent. It demands an incredible degree of psychological resilience. As our extensive coverage continues, we must address the intense mental fortitude required to navigate such a high-profile adolescence. The transition from a viral internet sensation to a seasoned, professional recording artist is historically fraught with immense personal challenges. Constant public evaluation, relentless touring schedules, and the perpetual pressure to maintain relevance can easily destabilize even the most grounded individuals. Has been operating under a global microscope for the majority of her formative years. Our reporting highlights the critical importance of her support system in shielding her from the more toxic elements of the entertainment business. Navigating contract negotiations, media interviews, and public expectations while simultaneously attempting to experience a normal transition into adulthood is an extraordinary feat. Her ability to maintain her composure and artistic focus amidst this swirling vortex of corporate demands and public scrutiny speaks volumes about her inner strength and determination. Is one single young artist genuinely capable of permanently altering the deeply entrenched mechanics of the entire music business? Tonight's analysis culminates in examining its broader impact on the industry landscape. She is not merely participating in the current musical ecosystem, she is actively attempting to redefine its parameters. By stubbornly refusing to be categorized and successfully merging disparate genres, she's challenging the conventional wisdom of market analysts and record executives. Her ongoing success serves as a compelling case study for the viability of alternative career paths in a heavily standardized market. She's demonstrating that raw vocal talent, when paired with strategic, uncompromising artistic vision, can indeed penetrate the heavily guarded walls of mainstream commercial radio. This ongoing narrative provides a fascinating look into the evolving dynamics of music consumption. As audiences increasingly crave authenticity over manufactured perfection, artists like are perfectly positioned to capitalize on this shifting paradigm, potentially paving the way for a broader resurgence of genuine artistry in modern media. The battle is far from over, and the entire entertainment world is watching incredibly closely to see what happens next in this unfolding saga. As we conclude this special investigative report, the future of Jordan remains a captivating, unwritten chapter. She has successfully navigated the treacherous early stages of child stardom, resisted the intense pressure to completely commercialize her sound, and established a unique hybrid presence in the current market. However, the corporate machine is notoriously persistent, and the pressure to continuously generate massive revenue never truly dissipates. Will she manage to sustain this delicate balance between vintage authenticity and modern commercial appeal over the long term? Can she continue to dictate her own artistic direction within the confines of a major label structure? These remain the critical, unanswered questions. Her journey serves as a powerful testament to the enduring power of raw talent and the ongoing struggle for artistic integrity in a highly commodified world. We will continue to monitor this extraordinary career, bringing you the latest developments as she continues to challenge the status of the global music industry.